Okay, today's webinar is called How to Generate Enrollments, how to generate 20, 50 to 80 enrollments and within 30 days, and how do we do that? I'm just going to go to the next slide as I'm letting people in. Okay, so what you will walk away today is that we want to show you how we have done these ads, how we have done set up these websites and the automations, and how does that work. So we're going to talk to you about exactly what the campaign structure will look like, how does the funnel and the offer copy will look like, what are the secrets of the copy, because sometimes anybody can set up campaigns and all of these ads or even boost ads. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about what boosting and what is meta ad campaign. They are big difference. Boosting is a lot more easier. Meta ad campaign has a strategy, and how do we do that? And then most of all, what kind of copies do you guys want to consider when you're putting that in? And then your step-by-step implementation, and what does that look like? So as we're building this, this training is for anybody who is leading a school, administrator in marketing. If you're looking to get enrollment, if you're looking for qualified parents, you're like, I'm not here for every parent. I'm looking for Pacific parents. How do I get that? And if you're ready for fall enrollment, and that's what you're getting prepared for. So that's you guys. Okay, I'm going to talk about some of the clients and some results that we have seen that really has helped people get the results. So this is a campaign that we did. This is a real campaign for a real, this is actually a Bible college that we have done where we wanted to offer a free course. And when we set up the free course, we wanted to make sure that we were getting at least 200, 250 leads so that the campaign we can generate those leads and convert into actually enrollment. And when we set up the campaign, we got up to 600 plus. Actually, at the end, we got close to 800, but we got 600 plus converted leads. We had about the similar organization, we had about 77 signed up events within just 60 days, and we had about 65% increase in traffic. And then we saw 47 people say that I'm ready to enroll. 47 people saying that I'm ready to enroll into school. So that's a great result. So you're like, who is Jen? Why is Jen talking about this? Let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Jen. My full name is Jenny Paul. I come from 20 years of experience in corporate world. I have done 10 plus years in private schools, a Christian school, faith-based school, particularly. I have three beautiful children who are in private school. I'm one actually in university now, which is exciting. And we live out the education, and we want to make sure private school education is valuable to every parent because we know we value it. I do also teach digital marketing in universities, and I have personally coached and trained private schools, over 200 plus private schools. And again, I said I have 20 plus years of experience in corporate world, and I come I've helped multiple schools double and triple their enrollment. So I have some experience on enrollment, so I would love to talk to you guys about it and help you with that problem if you have that today. Uh, so I'm going to go through a little bit of, I'm going to skip over this just because of time, because you guys already know that some of you guys have already been in our webinar. We have done story branding training. We have run great results. I'm going to go through the proven meta ads results as well, and how we partner with schools, and you will see that shortly. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about, how our strategy has helped. Our first results of the clients, and this we have multiple clients, these are just handpicked few clients, is that a client came to us, they only have 6 days to for their event, and they wanted to ad campaign. They wanted to make sure that investments, if they spend an investment of a couple of almost $10,000, and they wanted to make sure that they get a value back from that. So they right back then they only, and when they came to us, they had about 5 or 10 people only register. So we were scrambling for results right away. So we created an ad campaign in 6 days with the strategy that we put in place. We got 77 people registered saying they're coming in, and when the ad campaign started, and then the whole registration took about, funnel of that, after the campaign stopped in 6 days, there was about 13 days altogether, but in 6 days we got 77 people registered. That's a great result. And then we just went through that with you guys already, the ad campaign for the free course, and how in 8 days we put the offer together and got a result of 600 plus people registered, ready to do the free course. And then for a campus tour, this is another great one we did, is that we only had 3 weeks to do the campus tour. And so what we did is that we did a 3 week campaign. We had all of the key components, which I'm going to tell you about and teach you on what that was. We have all that set up. Then once we put this campaign up, we got 777 registered. And then when they asked to register, we also said, are you ready to start your private school? Do you want your kids to start enrolling right now? So we asked those questions, and in there we had 47 people say they're ready to register. So they're not just browsing through, but 47 said, I am ready to register at your school. So those are kind of the results that we saw. Another one we saw is that we did a women's event for another a non-for-profit organization, and we only had about 2 weeks span for there. And once we did the campaign and made sure all of the landing page and the automations and everything is set up, and then we ran the campaign for 2.5 weeks, we got 211 people registered. That's just between 10 to 15 days of running the campaign. So that's a great results as well. And you could see that the duration of when what the traffic when the traffic has started. So 4 secrets to getting 50 to 80 leads in your in 30 days. What does that look like? That's what I want to talk about. You're like, okay, amazing. You got all these results. How about my school? How can I help my school fill these hallways with potential right type of parents to come in? And here's how to do it. And if you miss any of these, you will kind of impact how the result is. So bear with me and work with me on how to understand these 4 key components. The first one is to make sure your offer, which is your school or your program, it is highly converting offer, that it's a bulletproof offer. So for example, if you have 4 schools around you, and then only about, and within the 4 schools you are the highest tuition, and you have the same program, same facility, same kind of offer like the other schools, it's no brainer, guys. Your offer is not high converting, and parents are smart, especially in today's world. They're Gen Zs and millennials. They're looking online, and they're looking for what the deals are, and they're comparing everything. Now they have AI as well to help them through. So if they don't see an offer that is bulletproof for them, they are not going to convert. You could spend as much as you want on ads and campaigns and all that. If the offer is not solid proof, then you're not going to see that. So first thing we work with the team is to look at your offer, look at what other people's tuitions are, and is your offer solid. Second thing is that to build a school website that converts. So the second thing is that now you have your offer. Now you need to communicate that offer to your target audience, your target parents. You don't want to go to anybody and everybody. You probably already know what type of parents will come to your school and say, hey, this is the right thing my child needs, right? So we want to make sure that the website layout, the story branding to the offer, and what they come to the landing page, the message is not broken and their message is consistent. So when they see the ad and when they see the website, the landing page is consistent, and that is very crucial. These 2 components are very important. I wouldn't skip these 2 components and then go to this third and fourth. So again, I just want to iterate, and I'm going to go into details as well. We want to make sure the offer is solid, the website is high converting, and the third part after we got that done is to build the enrollment funnel. And I'll go that into more details. What does that look like? And then the last one is our meta ad that generates 3x leads. And that's when the meta ads actually is on steroid. It start actually working really well, because we're actually every component is working on its own. So the when they land on the ad, it's actually working for you in your favor. Okay. Secret number 1. Create an offer parents cannot say no to. So I was just talking about a focus on the parents' desire. What do they want? They probably want something that they can see their child grow, be successful, and they want to be able to probably be affordable. So what does that look like? So they can make sure that they can understand what that looks like for the parents right away. Create a compelling entrance point. So make your hook, which is your hero section of your website, brings them into like, oh, I want to know more about this. What is this about? Or when they're scrolling on their phone, they can right away say, hey, you know what, let me stop this and see what that looks like, right? So if you're just putting all kinds of text on your offers or on your pages and on your designs, I would say stop for a second and think about it. Put pictures that will draw them in and get them into into a conversation. Now you don't have to think about, oh, how big the picture should be, how nice the picture should be. To be honest, these are all literally a half a second decision. If the picture is just there to hook the person there, and then they'll go to the text, right? Reduce the risk of getting involved with you guys. For example, don't make it so hard, make it easy. Open houses, parents testimonials, outcomes, show them what the results you have that have it, so that they can see when they're putting in that x number of dollars into their tuition, they are getting x dollars, right? And create a urgency that, hey, you know what, we have limited space, or we only have this much space. You don't want to leave out on miss out on this. So you want to kind of call out urgency in your offer. So this is kind of like the four key components you will need on your offer. Make sure it's parents focused, make sure that it's compelling, the message is compelling, and the entrance is easy to come into. Make reduce the risk. Don't make it like they have to go around everywhere. They have to look for the booking link. They have to look for where the open house is. They're searching, okay, I wonder what the other parents are saying. Make it all clear for them and leave it out there so that they can kind of scan through it, and then make the urgency when you do the call to action, they can easily take action on it. Okay. Okay, and what is a high converting, well, how does it work? How does the entrance point of that high converting entrance point looks like? So future students experience, you need to have some similar things like that. School readiness, STEM program. These are some of the things that current parents are looking at. And this is, I'm talking about pre-K to maybe grade 8. And then for STEM program, art discovery, even sports program, I would focus that on for high school students. So elementary is important as well, but anywhere from grade 6 to grade 12, they want to know, they want to see those kind of stuff. Parents workshop, personalized student success consultants, these are some of the things that you want to look at, right? Urgency boosters that drive attention is, priority admission window. So maybe say, hey, you know what, you get to partake in last year's tuition, or you get to partake in, free before or after care, whatever that looks like. This is back again the offer. Make sure your offer is solid compared to what other people have, right? And limited seats with, if you have a open house and you have a seating assignments to that. Okay, number two, I'm going to try to skim through this faster. We're already at 12:15. So your website should book tours, not just look good. So when your website is there, guys, you don't want to wait for the parents to come back and take the engagement. So when they are at the website, your number one goal is to increase engagement. You don't want to wait for them to come back and say, okay, you know what, I'll come back and send them an email. No, no, no. When they're there, make it clear for them to engage, get them to book a tour, get them to send a contact form, whatever it is, get them to connect with you. Lead with your school story so they understand what your school story is, so that they draw in, they say, hey, you know what, I can understand. This is exactly what I want for my child. Will my child's life look like here? What will my child's life look like here? Second thing is make parents see themselves in that. So use real photos, not stock pictures or AI pictures on your website. Make it authentic for testimonials and pictures, stories that mirror the hope and fear of the parents you're trying to reach. So for example, if the parents are thinking, oh man, I'm sending my child, I hope my child can fit in, I hope there's no bullies, or my child can feel like they can have a family or community, that they can, their social skills and their educational needs are met. If that's what the parents are looking for, put that in out there clearly on your website. Build trust before they ask for anything. So credibilities, outcomes, FAQs, success stories, anything that can reduce the parents. Say, hey, if that works for that parent, it can work for me. Hey, if they can get X number of students graduated with this much results, they can probably help my child as well. So, and the last thing I would say is that make sure your website has a call to action, a clear call to action, and spread out throughout the website. And we will, if you connect with us, we will do a free marketing audit for people who came today, and we will help you through that, because sometimes people just do a call to action on the far right corner, and then they'll have nothing else, right? So throughout the story, as you're laying out your story on the homepage, make sure you guys have a nice call to action throughout the story, because you don't know when they're ready to engage. Number three, this is another key part. So number one and number two, and I put it in priority of importance, these four secrets, okay? So automate, number three is the automate the follow-up, so your leads doesn't go cold. Okay, what do I mean by that? So your solid offer is solid, your website is converting, people are engaging now you're getting in leads. You don't want to just let them sit there. For example, I don't mind the form, but I would highly recommend if you can do like a tour booking where people could schedule it into your calendar. Because many times for a school, like for example, I'll give you example, a school, we send them close to about 280, 290 leads in that school year, but only 150 got booked into their calendar. So I was wondering what's going on here. And they said that by the time they get back to the parent schedule has changed, or they already booked a schedule appointment or tour with another school, because the other school has made it easy for them to book a tour. And this is when we started really emphasizing the automation, and we started packaging that with our offer for us when we build our websites for our clients, because we wanted to make sure that now schools cannot be without this. They need to make sure that it's easily, parents can easily go and look at the administrator or the director, school director, whoever is doing the tours. They can easily see their schedule, book it in, and then be able to do that, right? So why is that important? Because they get instant response. They would right away see that acknowledged, and they say, hey, welcome to our school, we're looking forward to seeing you. Let's just say they're able to go and choose a date, and then they'll be able to right away book it into their calendar, booked it into the director's calendar without any at front desk getting involved, right? And then the same time they're getting a text message, SMS text message, and an email saying you are booked in and locked in, right? And then the other one is you're educating the school's value in those nurturing emails. Now you have that person's email before, let's just say the appointment is 10 days from now. You can nurture them into a conversation and tell them about why your school is the right choice for them. And then again, number three is the follow-up. So you can kind of say, hey, you know what, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. 24 hours before, you can send a notification. One day before, send a notification, so they're anticipating coming to this tour. And you are also you have a sound mind that, hey, you know what, their reminders are sent out. So the whole thing is that up to 1 to 3 is that before the parents comes into that door, you want to make sure that the parent is 70 to 80% sure you're the right choice for them. And that's what these nurturing emails are very crucial for. So that when you are doing the tour and when you're talking about the value of the school, you know what? They're already heard it through that email, and now they're rehearing it from you. Is just putting the emphasis again and again. Remember, in marketing, a person needs to hear something 10 to 12 times before they actually take the action. So if they're hearing it in an email, they're hearing it from you, they're going to be sold for your school. Then you can track everything. This automation system that we have built out, you can track everything from their start when they come into the website, place the inquiry, all the way to they booked a tour, to they did the tour assessment, to enrolled. All of this is fully tracked, and they can have particular emails triggered based on that, and it's all automated. This is very crucial so that at least people are these leads, these parents who are coming through, prospecting parents, are not falling through the crack, and they're taken care of very well. Are you guys with me on this? Or you have any questions, concerns? Just put it in the chat and I will get to you shortly, okay? Okay, now and driving into this, okay, I'm gonna just quickly show you an example of what that sequence look like. For example, day one, they go into the website, they book a tour, or they send a form in. Day two, we send them a social proof. What does that mean? A testimonial or a video of a parent and showing how happy they are at the school. Day four, this is like if they have given you 7 days, they might be only giving you 4 days, then the system will not obviously send you all the tour day four and day seven. But let's just say, for example, let's just say they have 7 days span before the tour is happening. Behind the scenes videos and stories about the school. Then and then the tour invitation, a personal invitation to book a tour, getting to them and again nurturing them to coming into, hey, making sure, did you book the calendar? If not, here's our link, book it into our calendar. And re-engaging these parents. Let's just say they didn't show up, or they just downloaded something, you could nurture them back into that call to action to book a tour. Because remember, as a school, your number one goal is to get these bookings done, because when we get the traffic going, then it's so much more easier to get the conversion done, because you kind of have to work it backward. So before I come to meta ads, this is what I want to kind of work on, is that how's our traffic, is our if our traffic is about 1,000 people coming in a month, then you would know that from the 1,000 people, at least we're getting about 20 or 30 people booking on a monthly basis. From the 20 or 30 people booking, maybe 70% of them are showing up, or 60% of them are showing up for the tour. From the 60% that are showing up, how many people are actually enrolling? So as you see that number, we need to get that number, and we need to make sure that we understand what our number looks like and how are we changing that year by year. Okay. Okay, last one. And once you have number secret 1, 2, 3 set up, that's when I would say put your meta ads. Now you might say, hey, you know what, I have clients coming to me and say, hey, you know what? I can't do 1, 2, 3. I just want this meta ad running. We do that, but what we have seen to get really good results is when we can connect the website, the offer, and the automation together. We kind of see this working really well in a really good in a really good rhythm, and people are able to see easily 50 to 80 people saying, hey, you know what, I want to enroll, I want to get some information about your school. Okay. So given that, I just wanted to let you know that 1 to 3 is very important, but you could go and skip 1 to 3 and go straight to 4, but I wouldn't recommend that. Okay. But I know some people do that. Okay. So write meta ads that stop the scroll and start the conversation. What does that look like? So right now, when you're creating a meta ads, you want to talk about what is your offer. So this is where the offer, we go back to that offer when we created the landing page. Same offer, now we're creating it into our school. So for example, our offer is that we are the top STEM program. All of our kids who come, most of 80%, 90% of our kids who come to our school, they're looking at for STEM program, and they're looking to go into IT or engineering. Just example, or kids who are good at math, who are good at hands-on science and stuff like that. So then if that is our offer, that's our value proposition, then we're going to lead with that. So we're going to create a hook, and then we're going to make sure that the ad makes us make sure that it incorporates all of that style into it. Okay. So that is kind of what we're talking about. Start with the hook. So you need to understand what your hook is, which is your unique value proposition. Then make an ad that feels native, not corporate. So you don't want to make it look like so like professional, because today in social media world, it's matter when you see when it sees authenticity, if it feels real behind the scene. Sometimes I just take one picture like what I'm doing right now, and then say, come to our webinar. Those ads sometimes do so much better than me making it nice and professional, making sure all my branding is there, my logo is there. I don't even put logos on my on my ads anymore, because it just looks like advertisement. And right now, from a stats perspective, and research shows that people have programmed themselves to see, when they see promotional looking designs, they just scroll by instead of stopping. Whereas if they see something more authentic, more real, and they just then they stop and look and say, hey, what's going on with this video, or what's going on with this static post? And especially with meta, I'm just going to tell you this, that sometimes just actually most of the time, the stat to prove your offer and prove your message, static works as much as the video. So why not just do static, because it takes less time. Okay. The other thing you want to make sure that you talk in your ad is that you're going to show the transformation. What does the story look like? Not just a program, but what does the story look like? What does the outcomes looks like? And then build trust through your proof, through testimonials. This is where we are sending them to our landing page. We want them to get there so that they can say, hey, you know what, you guys have students come in here and they read within the first semester. How's that done? Let me click on this. Then we prove, and then remember, that's the question they have when they see the ad. We better answer that question when they get to the landing page. Okay. So those are the things that you need to make sure that you build that trust through proofs, and match your message to the biggest parent problem right now. So this is might be challenge. You might say, hey, you know what? I don't know what my parents' challenge is. So you want to think about that, especially you want to talk to the director who's doing the tours. What are some of the things that parents are consistently saying? And I'm sure if you write this down, you will find this out, is that you'll be able to identify, oh, most of my parents are asking for, do you have an athletic program? Or do you have a STEM program? Or do you have a French program or Spanish program? So you want to kind of identify, or my child is just getting lost in so many kids. I want a smaller class size. Whatever that is, find out what your parents are looking for and speak that in your offer. And so we can partner that into your ad. Okay. All right. Three ad angle that generates leads. So this is very important. So most of us, what we do is we create a bunch of ads and then schedule them and then release them on Meta. I would highly recommend you not to do that. I would do three sets of ads, especially if you have the budget, right? So three sets of ads mean three angles. So for example, here's an angle where a parent looks, they're concerned. Your hook is that your child's getting the support they truly need at school. Is your child getting the support they truly need at school? Does the parents feel like they're doing school again at home when they get home, or is the school helping with this child who's struggling academically? That might be one angle of hope. The second angle of hope, is the transformation, right? How one student went from struggling to striving in years. So now you're talking about, hey, you know what? A success story. That's the angle that you're coming in, and that might connect another parent at a hook, right? And then the third angle, future success, means the educational advantage success parents are giving their children right now. You can say that, hey, most of our students who have enrolled in our program have 90% of them going to college for XYZ, or going to college for doing this. And then actually 90% of them are in the professional world making X number of dollars. If you have any of those data, that would be helpful. So you want to kind of talk about three different angles. Another example I can say from an angle perspective, you can say, you know, I'm a parent who's looking for my child who's going to have aligned with their faith, right? Because I'm tired of my child going here where they're not understanding their faith is now being compromised. So that's another angle that you can use. Okay. I'm hoping this is making sense when I'm saying about three sets of angles when you meta ad. This is very important. So this is a three sets of angle. Then you can do like one ad or two ads under those angles. And I know that it is a lot of work, but trust me, this is how we getting the results that we're getting. That's the way to kind of produce the result that you want. Okay. So here's kind of the formula. So you want a top line, stop scrolling kind of a hero statement, right? Just like the website has a hero statement. And we will do that another time where we talk about story branding and the hero section of a website. But it's same thing with your ad. You want to have a hero section where here's an example. Parent, is your child reaching their full academic potential? So when you see the word parent, as a parent, I would draw into that ad. I would say, oh, this is talking to me. If I say, just say your child reaching their full academic potential, is that who's that talking about? Maybe it's not for your child, maybe it's for teachers, we don't know. But when you put that parent in it, you're actually talking to the right audience. You're talking to your type of audience, right? The three sections on meta ads you've probably seen is the primary, headline, and description. Those are the next three sections I'm going to talk about. Primary is you want to talk about the problem. What is the problem in that state? In the problem, the primary text, you want to create the problem, the story, and the desire. Okay. So you want to talk about what the problem the parents have, agitate the problem, talk about how your school solves the problem, and then talk about end it with the call to action. How, you know what, enroll today or book a tour so that your child can see that. Here's a quick example. Many parents don't realize their child is struggling until grades drop. The right environment can dramatically improve their confidence, performance, and future opportunities. See how our students are achieving remarkable results. Book a tour, book a school tour today. See that? Here's the story, quick desired outcome, and here's a call to action. Now, headline is what goes on when you see the ad at the bottom, like you have, it's like about, I don't know if it's 60 or 30, but it's like literally small text. And when you put it in there, you kind of see and we play around with it. And you want to talk about that because they might not create click on the full caption, but they only look at the headline and then decide. They look at the ad design and the headline and then decide if they want to read the full description. So help your child strive academically. A simple, easy, short description so that it helps them draw them into that, right? Description is the one at the bottom, and it's like, the very last thing they probably look at. So it is the least priority, but I would still make sure that you have the right things in there. Okay. Make it short, punchy, and it closes with, like I say, scarcity. That's what you want to do. So this is the formula that we use to get that, 77 registered into our events, 100 plus enrolled in the campus tour, the 600 people who registered to have free courses. I just got a email today. We did another event that's happening this weekend, and they just stopped the ads because they had close to 82 people registered for their event, and they are happy with that. So we're using this as our formula to make sure that we are getting these things right, so that we don't lose the attention on people when we're running these ads. Okay. Next, okay, I am almost over time. So I'm gonna quickly go through the last one, and then I'm gonna kind of wrap it up for you guys so you guys can go through this. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Checklist, okay? Before you run any school ads, bare minimum, just go through this. If you want to take a screenshot of this, is that make sure that the great campaigns fail because of poor creativity, not poor targeting. So you want to make sure the ad has the right audience in mind. I would highly recommend, don't waste so much time on, are we getting the colors right, are we getting the right font? To be honest, most of these guys haven't gone into your website when they're seeing the ad, so they don't even know your font and they don't know your colors. What they're looking for is the message and the offer, right? So pattern interrupter or scroll stopping hook is the first line. Make sure it has a hook which is also aligned to your offer, right? Feels organic, camera roll, documentary style, shows a clear student transformation and outcome, includes proofs and social credibility, features real students, parents' content, demonstrates available options and next steps, speaks directly to the parents' whose primary pain point, and presents one clear, low friction next step. Okay, so that's what I wanted to kind of focus on today. And then I'm going to skip through some of these things, and then I'm going to come to here is a quick website I want to quickly show you guys, and then we will go into our next step. So here's like a website, sample website. This is not a landing page, but I wanted to talk to you about hero section. This will be the hero section of this website. Similar to your landing page, you should have a hero section that matches to your ad angles, that what your third of a campaign is, right? So that they know when they come to your landing page is you guys are talking about the same things. And then you want to make sure you have the right call to action on each of these sections so that it's talking about the right ways. You want to understand how the parents actually make enrollment decisions. This will help you create your content, create your landing page. They might just have heard about you or heard it through a friend or family member, and then they're considering you, they're evaluating you through your social channels or your websites, and then they're making a decision, am I going to book a tour to come and see you guys, right? So you want to kind of have that journey in mind when you are looking at these things, because or else you're just kind of basing your content based on what you guys know about, right? So I would think about seasonal campaigns when you guys are planning your campaigns. What is back to school campaign, new school year? October will be open houses, and then March and May usually be decision making. So when you're looking at your ad campaign angles, think about it this way, because that's the mindset your parents are on. So you want to make sure that mindset is kind of it's observed for them. I'm so sorry. Give me 2 more minutes and then I will wrap it up here, and then you guys can ask me any questions. Questions school leaders ask before getting started. You know what, I'm going to leave that for you guys. I will, you know what, if you guys are interested, send me an email. I will send you this deck so you guys can have it. The key things, that next thing I want to talk to you guys about is that if you think this will be helpful, we do a free marketing strategy call where we look at your school, we look at what kind of marketing assets that you guys have put out there, give you a recommendation. It's about 45 minutes. It's fully free, and we tell you this is I will give you a full audit on your website, your social medias, and your Google profile as well, and then give you a strategy that